Hello. Today I will be bringing you the musical links between two different pieces for the IB musical curriculum. At first glance, the traditional Swedish folk song, Hermanlig, and the traditional Japanese folk song, Sakura Sakura, seem completely different given that they are from vastly different genres. I will illustrate that these two songs share both similarities and differences. Of the musical links between the two pieces, the main similarities are their musical form and tone color, while other points of comparison include dynamics and time signature. I will also discuss musical aspects that the two pieces don't share, most notably texture and instrumentation. By the end of this presentation, you should have a deeper understanding of the musical links between the two pieces. Before I get any further into this investigation, here are the melodies of both Sakura Sakura and Hermanlig.
Hermanelig, tro loven i mig för det jag bjuder så gärna. I kunden väl svara endast ja eller nej, om i viljen eller ej.
The reason why I chose to compare a Swedish folk song with a Japanese folk song is two reasons. First, I wanted to learn more about my Swedish ancestry as I am 1/4 Swedish. I hope that learning about Swedish folk music will connect me on a deeper level with my Swedish side of the family. Second, I chose traditional Japanese music because I used to live in Japan and I really loved my time there. I was fortunate to have a wide exposure to their culture, including traditional Japanese music like Sakura Sakura. To begin with, here's a bit of a background on both Sakura Sakura and Hermanlig. Sakura Sakura began as an etude for beginning koto players during the Edo period of Japan. Later, during the Meiji period of Japan, lyrics were put into the song and then the song became popular. Sakura Sakura is a song that depicts what spring is like for the Japanese. Sakura means cherry blossom, which are the icon of spring in Japan and hold importance to Japanese culture. Both the new school year and the government's new fiscal year begin in April when the blossoms are in full bloom. The Japanese regard cherry blossom as a symbol of life, extreme beauty that comes and goes quickly. The other song that I will be discussing is Hermanlig, which translates in Old Swedish to Sermanlig. This song is a ballad about a mountain troll going down to propose to a knight named Sermanlig. When the troll proposes to the knight refuses because she's not Christian. Even though she brought him many gifts, the troll is still a pagan monster. The troll runs back to the mountain bawling because if she had gotten married, it would have released her of her curse. In terms of the versions of the songs that I'll be using, the version of Hermanlig I'll be using is sung by Garmana in 1996, and Keiko Imamura version of Sakura Sakura. In terms of instruments, the only instruments that the two pieces share are the vocals. Everything else is different. This is because the two genres originated almost on the exact opposite sides of the globe. Vocals are the only instrument that every genre of music shares. Even so, different cultures have different ways of communicating music and song. For example, in Hermanlig, like most Swedish folk songs, tells a story or a ballad. This is because in Swedish culture, stories were passed down through songs. In traditional Japanese culture, music was a way of reflecting on nature and life via a method of passing of oral history. This is reflected in how Sakura Sakura describes the sakura trees and the cherry blossoms blooming in the spring. The different purposes of the two songs are reflected in the length of the lyrics. Since the song Hermanelig is telling a story, the song is 6 minutes long in order to capture the whole story. It keeps the same melody throughout this song, only in changing the lyrics until the story is complete. Sakra Sakra, on the other hand, only has 3 verses of lyrics and are repeated in the song multiple times. Sakra Sakra originated with only vocals, but later became a song used to teach children how to play a stringed Japanese instrument called a koto. When Sakra Sakra, depending on the version, is sung with vocals, a Japanese chime called a kirin is often used to create an inharmonic background tune with the vocals in the koto. Hermanelig, on the other hand, has many modern covers, including German, Italian, and Romanian translations. These translations involve the use of different instruments in order to add the local culture to the song. The original Swedish version had lyrics, Swedish fiddle, a Swedish drum, and a Swedish drone sound. Before I dive deeper into each of these songs, here's the beginning part of both songs, starting with Sakra Sakra and then Hermanelig.
Solen upprann innan fåglarna började sjunga. Bergatrollet friade till fag.
I've noted previously, the length of the two pieces are quite different. Depending on whether you repeat the chorus or Sakra Sakra, it can last between 2 to 4 minutes. That's because it is a musical poem depicting spring, where the lyrics are meant to be represented if the musician so chooses. In contrast, Hermanelig is always 6 minutes long because it tells a linear story that has a clear beginning and an end. The beginning dynamics of both Sakra Sakra and Hermanelig start off at piano and slowly crescendo as the melody joins in. But Hermanelig crescendos much louder to a mezzo forte, while Sakra Sakra crescendos to a mezzo piano. Even so, Hermanelig and Sakra Sakra both stay at a constant dynamic throughout the entire song up until the end, where they both decrescendo down to piano in the very last verse. A musical link can be found in the time signature between Sakra Sakra and Hermanelig. Sakra Sakra has a time signature of 4/4, meaning that there are 4 quarter notes per measure, and Hermanelig is also in common time, which is otherwise known as 4/4. Most songs are written in 4/4 because it's the simplest and most versatile time signature and thus easiest for writing music. For both songs, the melodies are rather simple, while they progress and never jump down more than 4 semitones between notes, while both songs have simple rhythms. The next musical aspect that I considered was texture. Even though both pieces are quite similar, they do not share the same textures. Sakra Sakra is homophonic because along with the lyrics there's a background accompanied koto and flute. This is very common with traditional Japanese music and is one of the main reasons that makes it special compared to other traditional music. Hermanelig is polyphonic because it only has one main melody that repeats itself throughout the entire song with a drone during the entire tune. The drone doesn't stop until the song has ended. It does have a drum rhythm that is only 1 measure long that repeats itself during the entire piece. Later in the piece, a pipe comes in that acts like a drone for one musical passage, but the passage after that plays the melody along with the vocals and fiddle. What makes this piece very interesting is that even though it has multiple instruments that join in, there's only one melody that remains constant and no bridge during the song. One thing they both share is they both are in between wide and narrow because they have a medium range of notes. In terms of key, harmonic is in E minor. Sakura Sakura, on the other hand, does not use Western scales but a version of the pentatonic scale, otherwise known as the Japanese mode. The Japanese mode goes like this. It starts off with the root, then it goes to the second, the third, the fifth, and the sixth, which is categorized for most songs during this time in Japan. The Japanese mode produces a tune with the traditional oriental sound. Another musical link you can find between Sakura Sakura and harmonic is the musical form. The musical form of harmonic is strophic because the song repeats the same musical material indefinitely. Most ballads do that because they keep the same rhythm and notes but just change up the words after each musical passage. In this case, the musical passage is 16 measures long, repeating every time but with different lyrics, except for the chorus, which is the same. The musical form of Sakura Sakura is strophic as well because the song also repeats the same musical material. Unlike harmonic, the musical passage of Sakura Sakura is only 10 measures long, but each time it repeats the music, the lyrics stay the same. This is because the music isn't trying to tell a story like harmonic, but rather is a poem describing spring with repeating lyrics. This is an interesting link because it shows both songs originated as simple melodies, which is why today there are many variations of both songs. When listening to the verse and chorus, there is a musical link between the tone color or timbre of both Sakura Sakura and harmonic. The tone color or timbre is the quality, sound, or tone that distinguishes the sound production between two identical notes. When listening to the beginning verse of Sakura Sakura, each note is slightly stretched out, giving it a slower feel than the song actually is. When you get to the end of each measure, there's a vibrato on the last note, extending it and making it sound longer than it actually is. This is the same for harmonic, because at the end of each verse, the last word is extended. Also, at the end of every 4 lines, there's a larger and more distinct vibrato. Another example of similar timbre between Sakura Sakura and harmonic is the strength in the vocals, giving each piece an important feel that makes the lyrics stand out compared to songs with weaker lyrics. The use of the Japanese koto in Sakura Sakura and the use of the drone in harmonic give both pieces an ominous timbre. In conclusion, these two pieces initially seem completely different because of the dissimilarities including culture, textures, lyrics, and instrumentation. While the two songs are very different genres, on a deeper analysis, both songs share similar musical links that include musical form, dynamics, time signature, and tone color. These links illustrate that even without cultural contact, music can be recognized and created with similarities. This reinforces that music is a language all unto itself, and that similar elements from that language are presented regardless of how, when, or where the music was created. I hope this video has provided new insight on how traditional folk music created on distant ends of the globe, and in this case, Japan and Sweden, share common elements. Thank you.